Have you been denied or cut off from long-term disability? Ask a Lawyer is here for you. Each week, experts from DisabilityRights.ca answer your questions. Visit cp24.com/askalawyer and watch Mondays at 9 p.m. on CP24.
Hello there, and welcome to Ask a Lawyer Disability Law here on CP24. John Scholes right here. Good to see you again. I'm just your host. All the brains are going to be on your screen momentarily. Sivan Tumarkin, he is here, DisabilityRights.ca, and you want to reach out to Sivan anytime. It's a free phone call to have a chat for a consultation. Doesn't matter. Use the number 1-855-821-5900. Ask at DisabilityRights.ca is the email address. We'll get to that a little later on the show. And as you know, if you've watched the show before, we always have a main topic each week. This time it'll be the appeal, the denial, and the appeal after that. 5 things you need to know. This is super important stuff, so stick around for that. Much more on the way. Sivan, we're going to throw it over to you, pal. Just tell us basically, for those who are just watching the show for the first time, just fill us in on what you do generally, and then we'll move on to a case that you worked on recently, pal. What do you think?
John, good to be here with you and with our listeners. Look, I'm a disability lawyer. I deal with long-term disability claims. My team and I deal with long-term disability claims across Ontario, across the country. So we deal with people who have been injured in car accidents, slip and falls, who are suffering from illnesses, degenerative conditions, psychological conditions. If you have a long-term disability claim and you're having issues with your insurance company, we are here to give you answers. We're here to even the playing field between you and the insurance company so that you know what your rights are, so that you are educated. Oftentimes when I deal with people, John, I find that they are misinformed. They don't understand what it is that they can do with the insurance company. The insurance company denies their claim. They're telling them to go to their own doctors, etc. And people just don't know what to do. Well, we are here to bust the myths. We're here to empower people and to let you know what it is that you can and cannot do with the insurance company.
Success story. We always start off with that, get everybody warmed up. What do you got this week?
Well, let me tell you about an interesting phone call I had from a gentleman. He's 48 years old. He's a mechanic. About 2.5 years ago, he was out skiing with his 2 kids under 10 in Northern Ontario, and he injured his back. And since then, he hasn't been able to work, has not been able to go back to his mechanic job. And he's developed depression, severe depression, as a result of his injury. Well, he was on short-term disability at the beginning, and then he transitioned into long-term disability. Now, he's been on LTD, long-term disability, for the last 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And the insurance company has said that in about a month and a half or so, he's going to be cut off. They're going to end his benefits. And so he called me because his wife watches the show, and she heard about us, and she told him, give Sivan a call. And so I talked to him, and I explained, look, if you have long-term disability, it's very common for insurance companies to try and cut off your benefits, to stop paying you at that 2-year mark. And so I asked him a very simple question. Can you work in any other job, any other occupation for which you're suited for? You know, do you have training, education, or experience? And he said, no, my doctors are saying I cannot work in any other job for the foreseeable future. So my answer was, well, they cannot cut off your benefits. And he said, well, what can I do? I told him, well, here's what you can do. And I gave him a menu of options. And I said, the fact that they told you that they're going to end your benefits coming up in about a month and a half means we have some time to resolve this claim on your behalf. But John, I get this all the time. People think that their LTD benefits expire after 2 years, and that is simply not true. If you cannot continue to work, if your doctors are backing you up, are saying that you are too disabled from working, you need more treatments, the insurance company cannot stop paying you. They just can't. And what do? We are here to help. We can take over the situation, if you'd like, and deal with the insurance company and force them to pay you what you are owed. At the very least, you give us a call, the way this gentleman did. It costs nothing to speak with me or any member of my team, absolutely nothing, and we can explain to you your rights. We can go through your case with you, review your documents, again, absolutely for free, and explain to you what your options are. And with this gentleman, John, it's going to be very easy to resolve the case. and to force his insurance company to continue paying him beyond the 2-year mark, which they should be doing anyways.
Want to make you aware as well that Sivan and I and a number of lawyers in the firm, way beyond the time that we've been doing TV, we've been on radio across the country. It's a great show. It's an hour on the weekends and during the week. If you want to tune in specifically here in the GTA, you want to tune into News Talk 1010 Saturdays, 1 p.m. We'd love to have you listen to the show. Again, you're going to learn a lot. Get a lot of great phone calls on the show, on and off as well. We play them back here. We always learn from them, and it's always something new. Sivan, let's get to our first phone call from the radio show right now. So listen up.
I worked for a company for 4 years. I went on short-term disability. At the end of the short-term disability, they denied long-term disability, even though I'm still in a lot of pain and unable to work regularly. Now I've got a severance letter. They basically disbanded the department I worked in.
John, what a terrible situation. And by the way, for our viewers here, we have Ask a Lawyer, the employment part as well, right? We're known, our law firm, our lawyers are known for helping people with their employment issues and disability issues. In this case, this gentleman here was approved for short-term disability. So the insurance company has already accepted that he is disabled from working. And now that he wanted to transition to long-term disability, he's been denied. That makes no sense to me because the test under most policies is identical. Can you perform the essential tasks of your own occupation? If you can't, and you've received short-term disability, you should now be getting long-term disability. Again, we see people who are cut off or denied for any number of reasons. I call them excuses, by the way, John, not reasons. And again, we inform people, we explain to them what their options are. In this case, this gentleman should be able to get long-term disability benefits, absolutely. I'm going to speak with him. I'm going to speak with whoever is, his wife or whoever it is he wants to, explain to them their rights. At the same time, it's very important that he understands that he also has certain rights vis-a-vis his employer. And by the way, those two areas of law intersect. If you are owed long-term disability, but at the same time you've been let go from your job, you have to understand what your rights are vis-a-vis your employer and vis-a-vis the insurance company, because if you get a severance and if you get long-term disability benefits, you potentially may have to get a deduction there. We have to explain to you what your rights are. Again, it doesn't cost anything to get this information from us, and I urge other people in that situation to contact us. Myself, my team will be able to explain everything for free.
All right, we are rolling along nicely, but we got to take a small break. As I mentioned, main topic each week, appealing a disability denial. Important stuff. That is on the other side as we continue more Ask a Lawyer Disability Law here on CP24. Stay with us.
Do you have questions about your employment law rights? Ask a Lawyer is here for you. Each week, experts from employmentlawyer.ca answer your questions. Visit cp24.com/askalawyer and watch Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on CP24.
Welcome back to Ask a Lawyer Disability Law here on CP24. John Scholes, Sivan Tamarkin from DisabilityRights.ca. Always reach out as a free consultation. The phone call costs you nothing. There's the number, 1-855-821-5900. Email is ask@disabilityrights.ca. There's also a QR code. Scan that right now on your phone and it'll lead you there as well. More information can be had anytime through an email or a phone call. Each week, main topic, 5 points to talk about disability denials. This is huge, and the appeal process. It can be scary, but let's try to clear some of that up for you right now. Sivan, point number one is this: appeals are often ineffective in reversing denial of benefits. Tell me about it.
John, I can tell you that is my experience. It's the experience of the lawyers I work with, other lawyers who are in other firms who do this exact same thing. These appeals, when the insurance company denies your claim, and they are telling you to appeal, right? That denial letter at the end is going to have a paragraph or two talking about the fact that you can submit new documentation, that they're going to look at it, they're going to consider it, and they give you a deadline usually, which is arbitrary, but they're going to tell you appeal to us. And they want you to do that as opposed to speaking with a lawyer, as opposed to speaking with one of us to understand your real options. And why is it that most of these appeals, in my experience and other lawyers' experience, why is it that they're ineffective? Well, because they're internal processes. It's the insurance company, the same people who denied you in the first place, looking at these documents and saying, let's consider whether or not we reverse our decision. What's their incentive to do so? It's not a third party. It's not somebody else who's looking at it. And so in our experience, those appeals are absolutely useless. Now, Can I tell you that they never work? No, I can't say that, but I can also never tell you that the lottery never works, that nobody wins. Of course they do. Some people do win. But do you really want to bank your LTD benefits on a lottery ticket? No. There is another option, there are other options, and this is what we're here to talk about.
Second one is this, Savannah, your insurer wants you to appeal. They do indeed, rather than contact DisabilityRights.ca and your firm, right?
Precisely. The last thing they want, and we've even had situations, by the way, where people have told us that the adjuster had told them not to contact a lawyer, which they're never supposed to do. Why do they want you to appeal? Because if you appeal the denial, the LTD denial, they keep you within their ecosystem. You are basically underneath them. They're the ones who are controlling the time frame. They're the ones controlling whether or not they're going to approve or deny your claim. They're the ones who have all the power. They don't want you speaking to us. Why? Because as soon as you speak with us, it's like the Matrix. We tell you how the world really is. We explain to you that this insurance company doesn't have all the power that you think that they do. They just don't. That is one of the industry's best kept secrets. And so that's why they don't want you speaking with us. They don't want you to understand what your rights are.
An important one is the third one, Savannah, that is always make sure you have your doctor's support if you're off work. Got to be part of your medical team.
Absolutely crucial. And John, not everybody has a doctor. I understand it's not easy, specifically in rural areas, but you need to have people on your side who are treating you. It can be a psychotherapist, it can be a psychologist, it can be a chronic pain specialist, whoever it is, physiotherapist, whoever is treating you. If they're on your side, if they're saying, look, this person is disabled from working, they cannot perform the tasks of their employment, well, guess what? The insurance company is going to have to then approve you for long-term disability benefits. It's absolutely crucial that the people who are treating you are on your side and support you being off work.
Again, free consultation. Always reach out to Savannah. Point number 4 when it comes to appealing and the disability appeals, don't miss the important deadlines ever for legally enforcing your insurance benefits. What does that mean?
I can't stress that enough. So unlike the appeal process, which is internal, the legal process, which is when we come in, right, that's when we bring in the heavy guns with the insurance company, we have certain mechanisms under the law that we can employ to force the insurance company to pay you what you're owed. But we only have 2 years from the date you were first denied your long-term disability benefits to do that. If you wait beyond the 2-year mark, chances are your claim is extinguished. Your rights are not able to be enforced. The insurance company would love that. And I've had people, John, who've seen the show, who have heard our radio shows, who've called me and said, 5 years ago I was in this situation. Can I do anything now? And I tell them, no, you can't. And in some cases, they have foregone hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't be in that situation. The time frame is very limited. It looks like it's a lot, 2 years, but it's not. You got to contact us and call us immediately as soon as you are denied your benefits.
Really what this all boils down to, Savannah, is the fifth and final point. If your palms are sweaty over the last couple of minutes dealing with this and learning stuff, just reach out to DisabilityRights.ca, Savannah and his team for that free consultation. It'll clear everything up, right?
John, we talk to people each and every day for free. I can't stress that enough. You have nothing to lose. And maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a friend, it's a family member, it's a colleague. This is what we do. We deal with this area of law. We deal with insurance companies. Those insurance companies know us. They respect us because we hold our ground and we push back on behalf of our clients. And so we tell people, look, it doesn't cost anything to talk. Nothing. Get empowered. Get the answers. Understand the illusion that is the insurance company having all the power. It's just not true. We often talk about this paradigm, this example of David and Goliath. If you're David, trust me, look at the analogy. David won that battle with Goliath. You want to be David, but the only way to be David is to actually understand your rights, and that's what we help you to do.
Emails, other audio questions, phone calls. We have lots more to cover with the remaining time of the show, so we'll do that after a quick break, which we're going to dive into now, so stick around. We're coming right back with more Ask a Lawyer, Disability Law, and CP24.
Have you been denied or cut off from long-term disability? Ask a Lawyer is here for you. Each week, experts from DisabilityRights.ca answer your questions. Visit cp24.com/askalawyer and watch Mondays at 9 p.m. on CP24.
You bet. This is Ask a Lawyer, Disability Law on CP24. John Scholes, Savannah Tamarkin, DisabilityRights.ca. Always reach out. We keep hammering that point home. Conversation is free. Consultation is free. You just got to pick up a phone and make that phone call, 1-855-821-5900. Email to ask@disabilityrights.ca. I want to get to a couple voicemails that have come in recently, Savannah. We comb through them all the time, but this was a particular good one, so listen to this.
Once you take on a long-term disability case, does your client still need to communicate with the adjuster, or do you handle all communications as their lawyer?
Awesome question.
John, this is one of the top questions I get all the time. The answer is unequivocal, no. You do not have to communicate. In fact, I'll tell you more than that. The insurance company understands once we're involved that they cannot speak with you. You know, I told you before, in other instances, that one of the biggest joy that I get when speaking with individuals who are dealing with very stressful situations, a lot of anxiety, explaining to them that once we are involved in their case, the insurance company must go through us. They cannot communicate with them. And I can tell you, oftentimes, they don't hear anything else. Because, you know, many of them tell me that when they get that phone call, that email, that letter, their blood pressure just jumps right up. They can't sleep, they can't eat. It creates so much stress and anxiety. And so when I tell them, no, not only are they not going to be able to call you and email you and write you, they've applied pressure on you. Now you can focus on your health. I'm going to apply pressure on them. My team and I will apply pressure on them. We're the barrier now. We're the ones between you and the insurance company. And that is a massive, massive weight off their shoulders. And that's something you need to understand. And I've had situations, John, when people have contacted me and they've gone to other disability lawyers, and those disability lawyers, for whatever reason, allowed the adjuster to continue communicating with the person. I mean, complete nonsense. That should never happen. We take over. We're the ones dealing with the insurance company. You need to focus on your health, on getting better. Let us do our job, which is to apply pressure on the other side now.
Great voicemail. We've got a second one coming up. Savan, listen up. Here it comes.
Do you have to get an assessment from another doctor if your insurance company orders you to?
This is a very interesting question because oftentimes insurance companies, once you're on long-term disability, will tell you, we want to send you to one of our doctors or one of our specialists or whatever they want to call them. We want to have an assessment. And you're asking, well, why should I have this assessment? I have my doctors. I have people who are saying to you, explaining to you why it is that I cannot work. Well, these insurance companies are saying these are independent examinations. They're nothing but independent. These examinations are paid for and chosen by the insurance company. As soon as that happens, as soon as in your claim the insurance company tells you to do that, first of all, under the policy, you may in fact have to go through one of those, but you want to understand what the process is. And again, that's where we come in. We explain to you what the process is when you speak with us. We explain to you what to expect, how to behave, what to do. Again, this is all free, right? It doesn't cost anything. We just want you to be empowered. But you do have to go to these assessments, and I'm going to put that in a caveat. I'm going to say, it depends on the situation. They can't send you to multiple assessments of the same kind. There's a variety of things you need to understand. But what you also need to understand is that if the insurance company wants you to see one of their doctors or one of their assessors, they're trying to fish for a reason to cut off your benefits, to stop your benefits. Now, don't panic. This is very common. It's not unique, but there is a way to insulate yourself, to strengthen your case. And one of the ways to do that, John, is to understand that this is a natural part of the process. And as soon as the assessment happens, you ask for a copy of the report and you give it to your doctor so your doctors can go through it and make clear to the insurance company what the inaccuracies are. Again, we talk about this with people all the time, John. This is, again, one of those things that comes up time and time again, and people are really panicked about it, but you shouldn't be. There is a way to deal with it.
We still want to get to an email, Savan. We'll do that on the other side as we trickle down in time for the half hour, so stay tuned for that. It's just ahead right here. Ask a Lawyer, Disability Law on CP24.
Have you been denied or cut off from long-term disability? Ask a Lawyer is here for you. Each week, experts from DisabilityRights.ca answer your questions. Visit cp24.com/askalawyer and watch Mondays at 9 p.m. on CP24.
Okay, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around for the last couple minutes of the show here. Ask a Lawyer, Disability Law, CP24. Always reach out for that free consultation and chat. If you just need more information, Savan and his team standing by. It's 1-855-821-5900. Email ask@DisabilityRights.ca. That's where we're going, Savan. Here's your email to wrap up the show. Says, my son was in a car crash 2 months ago, was denied long-term disability. We have a lawyer, but we can never reach him, and we don't understand the process. He says we have a case, but no money is coming in, and my son can't return to work. What can we do? That's stressful.
Very stressful, John. And we deal with car accidents across the province, and we help people get the compensation that they deserve. There are multiple issues here. Let me start off with the lawyer. No lawyer should ever ignore their clients. That is a huge no-no in our firm. In fact, we fired lawyers in the past for that. Absolutely not. So you make sure that your lawyer responds to you, or you switch lawyers. That's simple. Now, here's what you need to understand about your son's situation. If he was in a car accident and he's injured, he's entitled to what we call no-fault benefits, accident benefits, which means he's entitled to income replacement benefits. Usually it's up to $400 a week. He's entitled, not maybe, but he is, to various medical rehabilitation benefits. But in addition to that, he may have a claim against the driver that hit him. And that's very key because those claims could be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. Add to that the long-term disability piece, and now you're dealing, John, with 3 separate insurance claims. We can do a whole show just on that. So I'll invite this individual to call me so we can discuss the case in its entirety so he can understand, he and his son, exactly what his son is entitled to, because these are all complex issues and we can help them. We can help them understand all the issues, and that will empower them to make the right decisions.
Let me just ask you last minute before we wrap up, Sivan. What if you're in the car with somebody, or maybe a friend or a relative, that they're responsible for the accident? You feel bad making a claim, right?
You have a claim, absolutely. And fear not, because it's the insurance company that's going to be paying here, right? That's why we all carry insurance. And again, we deal with these kind of questions all the time. You can have a spouse, a friend, whoever it is in the car with you, whoever's responsible for the car accident, their insurance company is going to have to pay you compensation, and we can help you understand what that compensation is and how to get it.
And if you don't do it, you'll be missing out. You do not want to do that, right?
Could be
you're
on
gonna
a
need
lot
it.
of money, absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to need it. That is pretty much it for this week. Thank you so much for all your correspondence, whether it was a voicemail or an email or other things. You can always reach out. Now that we're done, we'll take care of it again next week. In the meantime, reach out to Sivan. Free consultation. Phone call is free. Just pick it up and dial 1-855-821-5900. Ask at DisabilityRights.ca to find a radio show, including here in the GTA. News Talk 1010 Sundays at 1 p.m. Go to DisabilityRights.ca. And for more information, anything else, go to cp24.com/askalawyer. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week right here on the show.